Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. My name is Sandy McDonald, and I'm the Director of the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. And we are here today to go over our contracting opportunities program that we do annually. And I'm here with my supportive of Broward face mask. I could have started with the SOB, but then they said, what is he saying? Supportive of Broward. So thanks for joining us today. And what we're going to do today, in addition to continuing to social distance, we're going to walk through Broward County opportunities for our small businesses. Again, this is an annual event. We try to make sure that our small businesses are aware in advance of what the opportunities are with Broward County agencies. We want to make sure that as we go through our process, you're doing your job to make sure that what we have available you can take advantage of. As an office, it's important to recognize that we provide a service to our county agencies in alignment with procurement. Our services are dealing with the idea that the county has an ordinance, Business Opportunity Act 2012, most recently amended in 2018. And as a part of that ordinance, it speaks to at least 25% of what the county procures. We want to procure using small businesses, certified small businesses here in Broward County. So with that, we're going to walk through the process. We're going to have different agencies come, present, and speak to you today and share information about their programs, their contracts, their opportunities for you to participate in. Little housekeeping, there is a question and answer period that will take place at the end of all the presentations. So while we go through the presentation, each speaker is going to be given 5 to 7 minutes to share with you the information, the exciting opportunities in their agencies. And we want you to ask questions, but at the end of the presentations, we'll entertain all of your questions. And if I can advance these slides where I can see them. The other part that we want you to understand is from the programming perspective. 3 Ps. If you've attended any of our other workshops, I often talk about you as a small business. Know the program, know the process, and know the people. Program, Business Opportunity Act 2012, amended in May of 2018. It explains SBE, CBE, CBE reserves, CBE goals. It helps you to understand what the county is saying is your opportunity to participate. Process, yes, you need to be able to understand the process. Where does a bid come from? How do I find out about bids? How do I actually bid? What portal does the county use? BidSync, now known as Periscope. All of that's the process that we encourage all of our small businesses to learn the process. And then we're talking about the people. And today is really about the people. Today is the opportunity to hear from some of our agencies and to begin to recognize that you can participate in their procurement based on the goals or the reserves that we set. And again, you get this by remaining engaged, not just this workshop. When this workshop is over, hopefully you all are subscribers. Every Wednesday night we do a newsletter around 6:15 that gives you information, gives you hot tips on upcoming projects. We hope that you are following us through all the virtual workshops that our agency is doing. We hope you're following these county agencies that will be presenting today so that you'll see based on their website what activities are coming out. And yes, the official bid portal is BidSync, now better known as Periscope. That's where you must always go to get official information about Broward County bids. So stay connected with our office. Recognize that we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. There's a way to connect with us directly through our website, thebroward.org/econdev. And then certainly, as I mentioned, that Wednesday night newsletter is Gold Nuggets. Always a lot of good information in that newsletter. So as we get started, again, this is about projects. These are about contracting opportunities. These are the agencies presenting to you today what their agencies are looking to do next year and going into the following year. These will be our presenters today from Aviation, Environmental Planning, Parks and Rec, Port Everglades, Public Works again, Public Workers again, Purchasing Division, Transportation, and other opportunities that we want to make sure we tell you about relevant to surtax and the cities. Yes, the surtax program is not just county projects. The surtax program is also about the cities of Broward, and there's a 30% goal that one of my staff members will share with you. So with that, we're going to get started, and our first presenter will introduce himself and his agency and take it from there.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Marc Gambrill. I'm the Aviation Chief Development Officer, and I'll be going over some procurements that we'll be going over the next few months. So with that, the first slide here shows the procurement of consultant services for FLL and HWO building projects. Estimated about $15 million. We're looking to get 2 firms at about $7.5 million cap. We're looking to get this solicitation out through purchasing probably by the end of the year. And this has a wide variety of tasks. We have a lot of capital projects that are approved. The task may be do a renovation, building renovation. We do a lot of facility assessments. So this contract has a wide variety of architectural services. So that's the first contract. The second contract, procurement for consultant service for advanced planning and technical solutions. Again, we're looking to get, this is about $5 million. We're looking to get this solicited the first quarter of 2021. Again, this deals with GIS information systems, dynamic planning, development management, Aviation Modeling Solutions. And this contract, we're going through a airport master plan, trying to finalize it. So as we finalize that, get the FAA approval and the board approval, there will be some projects that will probably trigger from that approval, and we'll use this contract for that. Also, the next procurement is for consultant service for airport plan, again, with the master plan, trying to get that approval this year. This will utilize this contract, and we're looking to have 3 firms at about $6.6 million. And again, that will be to supply airport planning support services, landside facilities planning support services, and general airport planning and master plan implementation. So again, those are the first 3 were more consultant driven, from architecture, planning, GIS, components. The next, we have FL Security Enhancement Phase 1. So right now, we're in a design phase. This project includes the installation of surveillance of cameras, fiber optic infrastructure, and all related equipment required to provide enhanced security for our south runway portion of FL perimeter fence, about $4 million. And again, this is looking to be a bid advertisement second quarter 2021, and this is a hard bid. Second project, right now we're in design phase. This is the exit roadway improvements, and at this time we're in design phase. But again, this is to alleviate our congestion, enhance the level of service on the terminal roadway system, and curb fronts improvements will be made by constructing additional lanes, widening lanes, and reconfiguration of lanes. Again, the budget's about $12 million, and looking to get this one bid advertised third quarter 2021. Terminal 1 concourse B and C window replacement. Again, on our Terminal 1, we just did a renovation on the May core, but again, these windows are a little older and we want to enhance them. So again, to replacement windows, gaskets, hole clips, and all related items. Existing framing systems will remain. The budget's about 3.7. We're finalized design, going through permitting, and again, looking to get this advertised first quarter 2021. Next project, passenger boarding bridge replacement. This is a replacement of 39 existing passenger boarding bridges, PC units, 400 hertz ground power units, and potable water cabinets. Again, the estimate's about $37 million. We're looking to, I know we have a pre-bid meeting this Friday, but again, we're looking to get this thing bid out, awarded by the end of the year, hopefully, and then start this process. But again, this one's pretty complex, and on this bid one that's on Friday, we're going to have a drone video, so we'll be able to show drone videos of the types of passenger boarding bridges that we're looking to replace. Again, with the social distancing, we're also looking at other opportunities where if we can't always get the vendors out there, we're going to be doing drone video for a lot of our projects moving forward. Next project, Terminal 1 SEBRA room expansion. This scope of work includes the construction of a temporary SEBRA room while the new SEBRA is being constructed, installation of mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection for a new room, conveyors, all screening, computer equipment required to operate a SEBRA at nearly double capacity. This is about a $17 million project, and we're looking to bid advertisement first quarter 2021.
2 minutes remaining, Marc.
And I'm good.
Okay, so hey, Marc is good. Thanks for that, Marc. And again, guys, remember, we're going to put all of this information on our website, so you'll have that by the beginning of next week. And also, we will be entertaining questions at the end of our presentation. Dr. Samantha is going to join us, but she's going to be doing it from her office. So I just want to alert our listening audience, and I just got a tweet that there's at least 138 of you joining us today. So thank you. There'll be about a 20-second delay. So Samantha will be sharing with me when she's ready for us to advance the slide. And at that point, I'll advance the slide. So if you see a little pause between me and her speaking, it's just not one of those old TV shows. It's about 20-second delay. Samantha, it's yours.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you very much. So, Dr. Samantha Danchuk from the Environmental Planning and Community Resilience Division. Today, first slide, please, I'll be discussing the Port Everglades Sand Bypass Project. This project has been decades in the making. If you've been following, Broward County's resilience activity, the idea here is to construct and actually dredge a very large hole just offshore of the Point of Americas area, north of Port Everglades, so that sand will be trapped. And every 2 or 3 years, we can come back, dredge that area, and move that sand south of the inlet to the beaches that are very severely eroded and essentially restore the natural process that would happen of sand moving from north to south, but is disrupted by the inlet. So the project itself, we hope, will begin construction as early as May of next year and be completed that year and may run a little bit over into 2022. We will be holding an industry day on November 4th. This will be a pre-solicitation meeting. Because the project is so complex, we'd like to give contractors an opportunity to understand from the design engineer's perspective really all of the details of the project before they start to form teams and put their bids together. So if you're interested in joining with that meeting or receiving notice about the bid advertisement, please just go ahead and email me. These slides, as Sandy just noted, will be online, so you have my contact information. So now to discuss the project itself. I mentioned there will be significant dredging of the sand trap itself. Rubble and rock will need to be removed as part of that dredging in addition to sand. There will be a mitigation reef constructed just offshore. Additional rock will be placed to essentially ensure that sand is trapped in the trap and not lost offshore. Sand will be placed on the beach. There will be improvements made to the north jetty so that it doesn't encourage sand to be lost to the jetty, and that's what's happening right now, and then construction of a new groin. So there will be opportunities for small businesses and other marine contractors to support this project. There will also be a need for surveys, both pre- and post-construction, of all the elements of the project. There will be a requirement for vibration monitoring. So since there will be dredging of rock material, there will be, there will be driving sheet pile as part of the jetty reconstruction. And so that could result in some vibration. And so we want to make sure that no damage is done to the buildings there. And the property owners are obviously very interested in having vibration monitoring done as part of the project. This will be a major, marine and offshore construction project, so there will be a need for lots of different types of supply vessels, and there'll be a lot of activity within the port, so I think there'll be opportunities for different types of supply vessels throughout the project. And then there will be hundreds of tons of rock that will need to be placed for the rubble barrier, for the offshore reef, and for the jetty itself, and so there'll definitely be a need for rock supply. So next slide. To describe the actual project in a little detail so you can understand the magnitude, the sand trap itself will be 11 acres. It'll be dredged to a depth of 29 to 50 feet NAVD. This will remove about 365,000 cubic yards of material. And the sand that is beach compatible, that is removed from the trap, will be placed north of the inlet, right there on the beach in front of the Point of Americas property. And that'll be about 30,000 cubic yards of material that will need to be placed and dressed. Next slide. As far as the marine contracting opportunities, I mentioned the North Jetty improvements. The jetty north of Port Everglades will be extended about 160 feet. It will be tightened so that there's not sand moving through the jetty, with the tides. I mentioned rubble removal. So north of the inlet, in order to facilitate flow into the trap, about 7.3 acres of hard bottom is going to be re-exposed. This was actually reef that was buried as part of the Port Everglades project, decades ago. So we are uncovering that reef, and it actually creates a great opportunity for corals to come back to the area, and for it to be actually hard bottom that's healthy and part of the ecosystem. The rubble barrier that will need to be constructed will be about 600 feet long. This is in order to limit the sand that accumulates north of the jetty. And then there's 2 artificial reefs that will need to be constructed, totaling about 0.5 acres. And you can see on the slide examples of the profiles of the existing jetty and the groin extension that will need to occur. And again, my email is there, sdanchuk@broward.org, if you would like to be invited to our November 4th Industry Day, or ask any questions about the project, or receive notice about this bid. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Dr. Danchuk. Appreciate that. And remember the Industry Day, and we will post that, so you want to make sure that you are available for the Industry Day. Next up, we'll have Cheryl coming to share with us about the County Parks and Recreation Division.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you for always including parks in these presentations. We do appreciate it. As Sandy said, my name is Cheryl Cayer. I'm the business manager with the Parks Division. We have approximately 21 regional parks, 8 natural area sites, 6 community parks in the Municipal Services District for over 6,500 acres. Let's see. Okay, we have some shade structures that will be going out on to bid. We're looking at shade structures for Vista View Parks in Davie and Treetops Parks in Davie, and those projects will be between $37,000 and $40,000, and they will include installation. Our division aquatics needs include pool resurfacing at Quiet Waters for approximately $125,000, and a splash pad at Vista View Park for about $186,000. Additionally, we finally have our cabins going in at Quiet Waters Park, and we will be looking at furnishing these cabins, 3 of them, and it would include everything from bedding and cutlery, those kinds of things. So that's coming up. Tradewinds Park, this is, I think, the last of our bond projects. So our $200 million bond is coming down to an end, or actually it was 400, but 200 that Parks is using. And our last big project is known as Design Build 3, Tradewinds Park North, and it will include everything from underground utilities, roadways, parking. It'll be redesigning our farm area to include a new barn, a welcome center, shelters, things like that. So it will definitely have a lot of opportunities there. Upcoming projects that we have will be a maintenance building at Plantation Heritage to a little over $1 million, a maintenance building at Delaveau Park, which is in our Municipal Services District, for about $970,000, and then Stake Warrior Island, we are looking at developing a welcome center and a small office for about $420,000. We have numerous restroom renovations and repairs that will be going on throughout our division. They will definitely include Markham Park, TY Park in Hollywood, Easterland Park, and Quiet Waters Park. We also have playground repairs and improvements. 2 that we have right now are at Westlake and TY Parks. Other needs for our division will include herbicide, bagged ice. We've been looking for bagged ice supplier for many years now. So we're still looking for that. We're also going to need wooden picnic tables and other items. So those are some of the big ones that'll be coming up. And fencing, our division has been given an opportunity to be the division responsible for the fencing master agreement for Broward. And it will include chain link, vinyl, posts, gates, things like that. And we're thinking about $1 million or in excess of $1 million. So we have multiple other agencies that will be utilizing that agreement with us too. And that is everything that Parks has. So thank you very much, Sandy.
Thank you, Cheryl. And for our small businesses, please remember, a lot of the Parks and Rec contracting opportunities, we often remind you that many of them are gainful for you to be the prime contractor. Many of them, based on the contractors that we have, based on the North American Industry Codes in our directory, fit for them. A lot of those opportunities to prime those. So we do a lot of CBE reserves. We certainly do the goals, but look at these projects as opportunities for you to advance beyond just being the subcontractor, but potentially being the actual prime and doing all of the work, or you and other CBEs doing all the work. So again, we want to remind our listening audience, I understand I'm now up over 156 participants. So again, thank you for joining us. These slides, the PowerPoints themselves, will all be placed on our website early next week. So you'll always have access to everything the presenters are sharing. And in addition, we will be entertaining questions at the end of all the presentation. And our next presenter is also off-site. So once again, I would like to remind you that there'll probably be about a 20-second delay, and the presenter will also inform me every time they want me to move to the next slide. So Israel, thanks for joining us. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Sandy. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that. Okay, first slide. Let's talk about Port Everglades Security Operations Center. That's an existing one-story building. We're going to add a second story. There are opportunities for building shell, stairs, elevators, obviously roof, windows, interior partition, ceilings, and things of the nature. At this point, design is underway. The construction budget is $2 million. And of course, once we have plans, we'll determine construction methodology. Next, please. Port Everglades Southport Security Perimeter Lighting is a project that's going to allow us to light the western and southern perimeters of the port alongside of non-occupied areas. It'll be mainly electrical switchgear, conduit, light poles, and lights. The design is complete. The budget's $250,000. And we're going to be proceeding with construction very shortly, so be on the lookout for it. Next, please. Port Everglades Southeast 14th Avenue gate is a sally-ported gate, 2 lanes, so that 2 vehicles can exit at the same time. The intent is to renovate and update the existing gates. It'll be mostly chain link fence, concrete and asphalt. There'll be plenty of electronics, CCTV, fiber optics, copper and communications. The construction budget is $145,000. Design is almost complete, and we'll be procuring a contractor shortly. Next slide is Southeast 28th Street improvements, mainly paving, grading, and drainage to address existing street flooding. This particular street, from what you can see on that aerial, serves a great deal of the petroleum industry folks, so there's a great deal of truck movement in that location. Construction budget is $220,000. Design is complete, and we'll be procuring construction very shortly. Be on the lookout for it. Next slide, please. This is a future project, very large. It's the expansion of Slip 1. I can read everything that's on there, but basically, Slip 1, which is the center slip between the other 2 north and south of it, will be widened by 175 feet for a total of 475 feet. The length, east and west, will remain. The project consists of new bulkheads, sheet piles, soil anchors, paving, drainage, lighting, water, stormwater, and electrical. This work will have to be done without interrupting the offloading of fuel, and so phasing is going to be critical. Budget's $90 million. Design is in progress, and we anticipate construction development to start in 2024. Next slide, please. Port Administration Building HVAC replacement. It's a complete HVAC replacement of the building's systems. It includes fire alarm, smoke evacuation, and controls. It's a complete wholesale. Most ductwork will be removed as well, and the work's anticipated to be done while the building is occupied, which takes us to having to face the project and its work. Construction budget is $3 million. We are in the process of selecting consultants. Therefore, the code of silence is in place. And that's all I've got to say about that one. Next one is the Port Everglades bulkhead replacement, another very large project where existing, aging sheet pile and other bulkheads are in need for replacement. Selection of consultants is almost complete. Once it goes to the board, the cone of silence will be removed. The construction budget is $120 million, and we expect to negotiate with the selected consultant in early 2021 with the completion of design in 2022. Next slide would be the consolidated maintenance facility. This is a building or series of buildings to be built within the campus of the port to centralize port maintenance operations. The design is underway, programming is complete, schematics complete. We're on to design development. The construction budget is $35 million. Drawings will be complete next year, and then we'll determine from there the construction process. Thanks, Andy. That's it.
Thank you much. And again, these slides will be on our website, and I'm just going to talk a few more seconds as Jeff comes up so we can catch up with that 20 seconds, maybe 15, 14, 13. But now we're going to move on and get to our construction management division. Jeff, thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Sandy. We've got CMD's got quite a few projects which will be out to bid many of which before the end of this year and into next year. I'll be moving quickly through the slides because we have a lot that I want to show you and give you a sense of the broad scope of work. So we'll begin with something that isn't on one of the slides, and that is that we have a A&E agreement renewal, which many times consultants ask us how they get involved in county work. We're going to have, and we're looking for 2 to 3 firms, perhaps more, that will provide continuing term agreement services over a potentially 5-year period for projects which got one right now, which actually this date is incorrect. It's my one error, which we're allowed to have. And so this was actually out and on the streets right now. The bids are due back October 7th. There may be a week-long extension because of continuing questions. However, this is a hot project which we'd love to have you take a look at Bark Boer. The main jail first appearance court, which requires specific clearances for your workers, estimated construction budget of $350,000. This will be due around, actually going out to bid. Let me be clear, out to bid October 12th. The Government Center West First Floor Map Surtax Oversight Board project, which is an interior renovation of the first floor, about 8,000 square feet. It's going to be quite a beautiful project. It's going to have some really unique elements in it, electronics. Please keep an eye out for this one, especially if you love audiovisual materials. This will be out in November of this year. Government Center East Annex New Children Roof Replacement, a big complex project. Replacing equipment on the roof of the Government Center and some piping down through it, some new pumps. This will be $1.5 million out early next year. Also early next year will be some sewer pipe replacements and repairs at our Central Hack facility. We've got an awful lot of failing cast iron pipes, and as a result, we'll be remodeling many of the restrooms, all of the restrooms on the second floor. Community Partnership Finance Section Build-Out. This is a small project. If you're a small firm, you're going to want to look at this one. This is an existing clear shell space, which is going to be built out for the Community Partnership Division. And it's a $275,000 budget with a small amount of furniture involved. Fleet Services number 3, offices and lounge renovations, is a similar project, only it's 2,240 square feet. Again, new walls, finishes, flooring, and furniture. A budget around $390,000. This will be going out again early of 2021. The main library is going to have a facade restoration. This is a complex project. We don't want to undersell this. It's going to require MOTs, swing stages off the face of the main library to restore the coral stone that's out on the building. It's a historical building, so we're very confident that you'll be able to do it, but we want to make sure that you understand the complexities of this one. This will go out next year as well. West Regional Courthouse Phase 2 Clerk of Courts remodel. This is taking 9,600 square feet of the existing West Regional Courthouse first floor right near your current entrance and remodeling quite a bit of the project. This is $1.7 million worth of project, which will go out a little bit later in 2020, the second quarter of 2021. And along with it will probably go the West Regional Courthouse new judicial suites. This is directly above the area of the West Regional Clerk of Courts project. So these two projects may be combined at one time, which would be about a $2.56 million project between those two elements. Again, that's about 3,000 square feet, involves toilets, new toilets, break rooms, etc. All that is going on up until the second quarter of 2021. Ongoing projects are the BMSDs. Now these are different because the owners of these projects, these small municipal services districts, being run through OESBD, the owners are actually contracting with construction firms. They're looking for reputable construction firms to help them get going. We are assisting with that process, and we're providing the design services through a library of services that we've already procured. Any Weaver Family Success, this is going to be a roof project. It's coming up middle of next year, $315,000. The Government Center West escalator replacement, again, a specific type of project, $500,000. This is the big one you all see when you go out to get a building permit. $408,000 for the Northwest Family Success Center building improvements anticipated. This is going to be interiors again, including furnishings. So if you're looking for that type of a vendor opportunity, this is a good one for you.
2 minutes left. Keep
Thank
going.
you. Nancy J. Cotterman Center. This is a new sexual assault treatment center. This is a managing general contractor agreement. You'll need to look for these bids going out in the winter of next year. Again, they will be hard bids for all of the project elements, and then you'll see that with several of these. This is going out again beginning of next year. Public safety building, fire alarm system. The main library replacement of air handlers and chillers, also later next year. The Broward County Judicial Center has many projects going. There are 7 projects. This one's for $7 million. You're going to see all of these offered through the Pirtle Stiles agreement. It's a managing general contractor. Please keep an eye on these. These are very potentially very good projects for everyone. $3.2 million for the complex trial courtroom to be built out. $4.3 million for north and east wing generator replacements and switchgear. The Clerk of Courts Copy Center relocation, all of these are going on next year, $690,000. This one actually is going to go out to bid very soon. You'll see this on this in December. Historic Coca-Cola building is being renovated, probably $3 million. That bid will be hitting the streets in January. Same thing with the 500-car parking garage, also January. East Wing renovation and jury room assembly. This is a huge project, lots of opportunity, spring of 2021. And I just want to give you a glimpse of some of the things we're looking at. I know I'm running down to about a minute, maybe less.
40 seconds.
Okay, so I'm going to use some of Samantha's time. And you'll notice that these are some pretty straightforward projects, but we're going to be also renovating the exterior plaza. I'd love to show you this video, but I'm on short time. So we have $1.8 million for the new plaza renovation. We have property appraisers. This is an entire campus renovation. This is the Citrix building, used to be the Citrix building. This will be going out mid-2022. I'm going to skip through some of these. This is a big improvements project, including windows, roofing, and some expansion to the North Hack and Central Hack. OMET's BSO Crime Lab. This is an over $100 million project, which is going to be hitting the streets probably in fall of 2023. Master plan for the main library has been undergone. There's an awful lot here. Again, I wish I could show you the video, but I'm going to skip. This is we're estimating $44 million over the next 4 years. Construction starting in 2023. This is out at the West Regional Courthouse, a new master plan for that as well, including a new EOC, PSAP, transit station, and entrances to the courtroom, and a Woonerf. I'll let you look that one up. WOONERF.
I will have to stop you, sir.
And South Regional, and one more.
One more? Okay.
JGCC. This is the Joint Governmental Center. This is a very big project. So keep an eye out. Thank you.
Jeff, thank you, and thank CMD for all the work. But again, those are those construction management division projects. And for many of our small businesses, in the trade, this is where you normally get quite a few opportunities. Some to do primes, you saw some of his dollar amounts, and most as subcontracting opportunities. So again, stay in touch with our newsletter, our website, their website to follow those projects. And you heard many, as he mentioned, will be starting next year, early next year. So Candace, the floor is yours. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, hi, good afternoon. My name's Candace Jensen. I'm with Broward County Facilities Management Division. I'm their maintenance contract manager. Oops, sorry, technical difficulties. Oh, wrong. We're looking, let me just give you a brief overview of our division. We manage over 270 county facilities, ranging from libraries, courthouses, Broward Sheriff's Office, fire stations, parking garages, and governmental centers to health and residential facilities. For fiscal year 21, we're looking at several projects, implementation of HVAC projects, repair and replacement of air handlers. Our total budget is $1.8 million. Average project size is $150,000, and we're looking to do these projects at our Central Homeless Assistance Center, several libraries, Carver Ranches, Hallandale, African American Library, Young at Art. We're looking to improve projects over at the Judicial Complex, the East Wing North Tower, and at our Public Safety Building, as well as our purchasing warehouse. We have waterproofing and painting and sealing projects. Total budget for next year is $1 million, with an average project size of $175,000. We're looking to do those projects over at several of our libraries, Carver Ranches, Davie Cooper City, Fort Lauderdale, Margate, as well as the North Animal Care and Regulation Facility, the West Regional Courthouse, and Highway and Bridge Maintenance Campus. We have several parking lot sealing and striping projects. Our total budget there is $594,000 with an average project size of $140,000. Again, we're doing these projects at several libraries, Davie Cooper City, Sunrise, Dan Pearl Library, West Regional Library. Again, we're going to be doing this project at the North Animal Care and Regulation Facility, and we have several parking lot lighting projects as well. We're looking to develop some irrigation projects. The total budget is $415,000, and that average project size is $160,000. One of our larger projects is going to be at the West Governmental Center parking garage, as well as multiple other county-owned facilities. We have a variety of flooring projects that are coming up next year. The budget there is $560,000 with an average project value of $110,000. We're going to be replacing flooring at several county-owned facilities, including carpeting at the Judicial Complex North Tower, and we're going to be doing some flooring projects at the Northwest Regional Library, the Public Safety Building, and their evidence warehouse. In addition, we're going to be doing security projects. Our total project, I guess our average project size there is about $675,000. And we're going to be installing CCTV cameras at several county-owned facilities as well. We have fire alarm upgrade projects. Our total budget will be $400,000. We've got a couple of projects going on over at the South Regional Courthouse and the Traffic Engineering Facility. There'll be multiple interior lighting projects. I'm just putting a sample of projects here. There's going to be some lighting projects over at the North Regional Courthouse and the Public Safety Building. Our total budget there is $350,000. We're looking to replace some of our generators throughout our Broward County owned facilities. Our total budget for next year is $310,000. We're looking to replace the day tank over at the Emergency Operations Center, install a hard cover at the Governmental Center West building, and replace the generator at the Mid-Rise building. We have a lot of site work projects, one in which we'll be reinforcing eroding grounds and adding safety rails over at the Lauderdale Lakes Library. We're regrading parking islands and refurbishing the curbing over at the Governmental Center West garage. We're looking to install new roof repair projects, roof replacements, inspection testing at various county buildings. And our total budget there is $895,000. We have elevator modernization projects, and one of which will be at the Governmental Center West building. For next year, we have a multiple number of open-ended contracts that are coming up. One large contract is janitorial services, which will be comprised of multiple contracts broken up into CBE, 7 CBE reserve contracts and 8 SBE reserve contracts. That total annual value will be $8 million. We have a new building automation system contract coming up. That new solicitation will be going out shortly. The previous goal was 25% CBE, and the total value is $2.7 million. We're looking to replace our roofing and maintenance and repair contract. That'll be a CBE reserve, and the estimated annual value is $600,000 for that contract. We're
2
looking,
minutes remaining.
we're looking at roofing and waterproofing consultant contract. That one will be a CBE 25%. Estimated annual value is $1 million. As well as grounds maintenance. This contract will be broken up into several groups, so there'll be opportunities for several CBE firms. And that goal is 25% at an annual value of $1.2 million. We have a pest control services contract that is an SBE reserved contract in the annual amount of $230,000. And we have our large security guard services contract coming up, and that'll be an $8.4 million contract. It previously had a 25% CBE goal. The goal hasn't been established yet. That'll be coming forward shortly. Be on the lookout for that one. We're looking to replace our 40-year building safety inspection program consultant contract, and that's an estimated value of $50,000. And that's it for me. And all of my information is here. So,
Thank you, Candace, and thanks for facilities. And again, as you just heard, in addition to her projects, she also listed quite a few contracts that are going to be coming out. So again, as we often tell you in our hot tips on the Wednesday newsletter, you want to stay ahead of the game. You want to read and understand what those previous scopes are, what services they're looking for, and then you want to begin to do your homework as these bids begin to come out. And again, you saw several that we're working with facilities on that are going to be CBE reserves, and certainly those that are not reserves are actual goals. So pay attention to the facility projects coming out early next year. And next, we're going to have Mr. Clary come and speak to us from Public Works. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Michael Cleary. I'm with Highway Construction Engineering Division out of the Public Works Department. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the roadway projects that are coming up this year. I think we have some significant projects that some of the folks out there may be interested in. With the very first project I'd like to get started here is an adaptive signal control design project. It's estimated at $9 million for construction, and design fees are $800,000. The project will be installing adaptive signal control system along 3 corridors, Broward Boulevard, University Drive, and Miramar Parkway. We've estimated that the design will be advertised in the second quarter of fiscal year 21, and we've also estimated a CBE goal of 30%. The next project is also an adaptive signal control design project, estimated at $10 million in construction. One thing you'll notice is that I'm also showing where the construction would be scheduled for fiscal year 22. This one's estimated at $950,000 for design. It's on 3 corridors, Hillsborough Boulevard, State Road 7, and Sunrise Boulevard. Again, we're hoping that this would come out on the second quarter of fiscal year 21. The third project is a West Hillsborough Boulevard Design Project, which is a complete streets project with the addition of bike lanes and lighting, landscaping, and irrigation. The construction is estimated at $6 million, with design estimated $570,000. The project limits go from Loxahatchee Road to State Road 7. And again, this will be coming out the second quarter of fiscal year '21. The next project is a countywide intersection study and analysis project. Basically, we're going to be looking at all the intersections in the county and ranking them based on feasibility considerations as well as cost-benefit ratios. It's estimated at $2.6 million. And again, coming out second quarter of fiscal year '21. The next project is actually a construction project, Johnson and Dixie Highway. It's a mast arm upgrade. Will include milling, resurfacing, curbs, sidewalks, ADA upgrades, signing, pavement marking. But this one actually has a FEMA grant associated with it, and the estimated construction cost is $940,000. The next project is a construction project of the SR 84 New River Greenways pedestrian bridge. It's located, it'll be actually over the New River along the Greenway near the State Road 7 overpass. The construction is estimated at $1 million, and we're also expecting advertisement in the fourth quarter of fiscal year '21. Our next project is actually a design build. It's going to be for Sheraton Street improvements. The construction and engineering costs are estimated at $23 million. The advertisement is estimated in the fourth quarter of fiscal year '21, and it'll be the roadway widening from 4 to 6 lanes for approximately 2 miles from Northwest 148th Avenue to Flamingo. And again, this is a large project with a CV goal of 30%. And the final project is really not a project. It's going to be a continuing services agreement with a maximum annual fee of approximately $3 million. The contract will be for 3-year initial term with 2 one-year renewals. Anticipated advertisement is the second quarter of fiscal year '21, or maybe even before Christmas. The primary purpose of the contract will be for construction engineering and service engineering inspection services, but we will be able to use design, plan preparation, and related services under the contract. It's really a countywide. All the projects that are under this could actually be pretty much anywhere in the county, and it could also handle various types of funding. And with that, that's my presentation. I thank you.
Michael, thank you, and thanks for sharing all those roadway projects and others. And again, CBEs, make sure you're paying attention, make sure you're following our website. And as we get ready to finish these next 2 to 3 presenters, don't forget, you should be in our chat right now posing your questions that you may have for my office or any of the presenters who have come before us. Right now, we'll take Mr. Marcos on behalf of purchasing. Thanks, Glenn, for joining us.
Thank you, Sandy, so much. Once again, Glenn Marcos, the Assistant Purchasing Director for Broward County. I'm going to go over our mission and what we do as a division. As you heard our agencies speak about their projects, those projects are procurements. Those procurements are requested, and they are conducted by the Purchasing Division. We do have a mission. In the Purchasing Division, we do provide a unified purchasing system that we are here to ensure integrity and fairness. We do have a centralized responsibility to oversee solicitations, vendor selection, negotiations, awards, contract management, and various other functions. Here are some fun facts, business intelligence, and analytical statistics. During fiscal year 2019, we did exceed over $1 billion of contract awards. Out of that $1 billion, 43.6% were awarded to Broward County businesses, 61.8% within the Tri-County area, that being Broward County, Palm Beach, and Miami-Dade, and 66.1% within the state of Florida. As you can see, we try to focus in keeping the business within Broward County, or at the very least, within the Tri-County area. The actual local economy starts with small businesses, and we do value the small businesses. And as you can see, pre-COVID-19, August 2019, you can see how we were very, very focused and concentrated in keeping the unemployment rate down. Pre-COVID-19, you will see that in Broward County, our unemployment rate was 3.2%, Miami-Dade County 2.6%, and Palm Beach 3.6%. You can see respectively the state of Florida unemployment rate and the U.S. Obviously, July 2020, you have your COVID-19 situation, and unfortunately, we've been experiencing some increases in unemployment. But as of August 2020, you're seeing a positive trend, and we want to continue that trend going down. So there's a path. And there's a path to start conducting business with Broward County. It starts with registering with Broward County. As Sandy mentioned before, we do have an online bidding platform. I'll be going over that shortly. But do note, you need to get certified. If you are a small business, you do need to get certified as a CBE or SBE. Obviously, we have the Small Business Division that will assist you with that. Now, if you do use our online bidding system, which you should, you'll be receiving electronic notifications. So all the projects that you've heard today, if you are registered with Broward County, you'll be receiving those notifications via email. Do respond to these solicitations, whether they're quotes, bids, proposals, letters of interest. If you think that you can go ahead and do it and you're qualified and you're a responsible vendor, please submit and respond to your solicitations that's being offered by Broward County. When doing so, follow and adhere to your instructions, deadlines, and requirements in those solicitation documents. We do have a website. It's your website. It's not ours. It belongs to you. That website being www.broward.org/purchasing. Here is at a glance snapshot of our website. It does have a specific web page as it deals with vendor registration with Periscope S2G. BidSync is now known as Periscope Supplier to Government. As you can see, BidSync, now being Periscope, is an electronic online system. It is free for all of you. Now, it only takes 5 to 10 minutes to register, and we do have our information on the webpage. And do note that there are specific plans that you can register for. Do not select your Periscope premium plan. There is one, as you can see to the left, which is your S2G Limited. That is for free. Do know your various procurement methods. We have various ones, starting off with the smaller ones, which is the quote. Then it gets bigger. Anything that's $100,000 or less, you will see the quoting the quoting process, which is the informal bidding process, followed by a formal bidding process, which is your invitation for bid. Also know what is a request for proposal. I will not get into those specific details. However, the presentation gives you some familiarities as to what the RFP is and what is the RLI. 2 minutes remaining. Alrighty. We do have a cone of silence. You have heard some of the presenters talk about when we do ensue a procurement process, there is a cone of silence which prohibits communication, and it does allow for certain communications amongst the vendors and those person cited in the solicitation documents. We have various programs within Broward County to help our local businesses. Again, the Shelter Market Program, the CBE or County Business Enterprise Program, and we do have local preference. Do know your special requirements within the solicitation documents. That being, if there's licenses required, make sure that you do have that state, county licenses. Also, if there's any insurance requirements, please be aware of it. Again, there's local preferences. The living wage for certain contracts, we do have a living wage. We do have a domestic partnership requirement and your workforce investment program requirements as applicable. Again, do know what are the CBE goals. If there is a requirement within the solicitation, get well versed with your specifications. Make sure that you are well qualified to perform those services. Do note that there is a shelter market, as I mentioned before, and then there are also, at times, bid and performance bond requirements. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate that. And again, purchasing can operate without us,
Welcome to WebEx.
but as a small business,
Enter
we
your
can't
access
operate
code or meeting number
without
followed by
purchasing.
pound.
So someone has their phone on hold. Okay, so again, purchasing, thank you, Glenn. But again, all of this information
Enter
will
your
be
attendee ID or the numeric
on
meeting password
our
followed by
website.
pound.
Please, if you are a county employee and you have listened to this call and you placed us on hold, take us off hold. But that wouldn't be you because we would have that county music. But whoever did that, thank you. Just heard you take me off hold. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Next is be Mr. McCoy from Transportation. Thanks for joining us, Barney.
Good afternoon. Again, my name is Barney McCoy. I'm Assistant General Manager for Service and Strategic Planning for Broward County Transit. I've done several of these with Sandy over the years, and I always staying with the same statement that, it's a great time to be in Broward County right now, particularly with regards to for contracting and particularly for transit. What I wanted to do today was speak to some projects that transit currently has in place and some that we're looking forward. What we have right here is just a snapshot of what we've got going on. The first project is the Broward County BCT High Capacity Transit Corridor Planning and Engineering RFP. What that's intended to do is to take a look at BCT's system and tell us what we need to be doing to design, plan, and implement the transit system of the future. In addition to that, what we'll be doing at the point that the transit systems plan is complete, we'll be moving to what we call an area called 30% design. What we're looking for in this specific project, though, are planners, strategic planners, service planners, public involvement, marketing, outreach, and of course, engineers. What you've got right here to the right, though, is that this project is funded for $45 million over the next 2 fiscal years, with 10.6 of that currently being in a procurement moving forward. The next item is the Comprehensive Operations Analysis and Service Revisioning. What that is a lot of transit jargon to say that we're going to take a look at our transit system operations and try to define or identify efficiencies. This project was funded for $2 million, and at the onset of COVID, we were actually ready to move forward. Because of the impacts of COVID on transit, we pulled that back. But again, what we're looking for this specific RFP, we're talking again about planners, we're talking about transit schedulers, we're talking about public involvement specific to marketing, outreach, and passenger surveys. The general planning consultant, it's a new thing for BCT, but it's certainly not new to the industry. What this contract is let me back up. This contract is funded for $2 million, and what we're looking for are 2 consultants. What this contract will do, though, was allow BCT to have access to personnel who are subject matter experts in areas that we may not have on staff, and allow us to be more flexible in terms of responding to things that pop up based on the workload of existing staff. What we're talking about with this specific procurement, though, is that it will touch every section of the agency, from administration down through safety, security, operations, maintenance. But what it is, it gives us a broad depth of experience in order to make our operation more efficient and move forward. Bus stop sign and solar lighting. This is for the purchase and installation of software and hardware specific to solar lighting. Again, an $850,000 funded project, draft specifications requirements in progress. As part of our surtax promises or commitments, we indicated that we would implement new routes. This money that's funded, this $5.5 million, is for the construction of new bus pads and work with ADA improvements specific to drainage and curbing. Again, This is a project that's working its way through through purchasing. Goal assignment already done for that. The next one was a big item for us in the surtax, in that we committed to the municipalities that we would install 75 shelters per year across the county. What you have right here, this $20.7 million, is money that are funded for fiscal year 20 and 21. We've got a CEI contract currently working its way through purchasing right now. And the other item is the transit shelters and amenities, which is for the installation and purchase of shelters. What this is, though, specifically is for prefabricated shelters. At some point in the future, though, we do expect to start moving toward the large cast-in-place masonry shelters that some of you may have already seen across the county. The third maintenance facility. Again, back to surtax commitments. In order for us to provide the level of service and do some of the things that we said we would do for the surtax, it's going to require a third operating facility. The monies that you see funded here are specifically for land acquisition and some pre-site concepts once the land is acquired. Again, there's no specific timeline for that in terms of how it will hit or when it will hit procurement, but those monies are part of our fiscal year 21 budget. The same thing specific with the intermodal centers. Now, when we're talking about intermodal centers, we're referring to things like Northeast Transit Center, if you're familiar with our system. Again, this $2 million here is really more so not necessarily land acquisition, but some pre-concept, pre-design work once that has been identified. Again, there's no timeline for that aside to say that it is part of our fiscal year 21 budget. The rehabilitation and construction of Copeland's facility. Copeland's is our largest facility right now in the northern end of the county. And until we are able to acquire or construct that third facility, we're going to need to do some improvements and modernization for Copeland's. What this covers right here are things like mechanical, electrical, plumbing, structural, and constructions to upgrade that facility. Again, current design specifications are pending auditor's review, but we hope to have that out on the street before the end of the year. As most transit systems are across the country, BCT is looking to upgrade its fleet and upgrade and move toward newer or more sustainable technologies. What you see right here is for electric bus charging infrastructure. This will be specifically at our Ravenswood facility. There's a contract already pending advertising for $1.9 million with a goal assigned, and what we're looking for that specifically is civil engineering. Park and ride lots. I mentioned earlier about the high capacity planning quarter RFP. We're talking about doing things like light rail and bus rapid transit as we move forward. Bus rapid transit and light rail will need park and ride lots in order to be conducive to the service. The monies that you see programmed here are for the purchase of land and, again, some site concepts, specifically parking rights, to support these higher modes of service. IT enhancements, we're talking about things like software and hardware, but again, those are software and hardware systems. That's all for systems that we have in place right now and systems that we will acquire or put into place as we implement initiatives out of the surtax. Last but not least, we're looking in terms of security enhancements. What you've got between fiscal year 20 and 21 is $6.7 million. To the right there, you've got 4.4 that's already pending procurement for software and hardware. And what we're looking for in this specific procurement, we're talking about things like system engineers and software to support that. Having said that, I'm complete with my presentation.
Okay, thank you, Barney. And again, a lot of what Barney was sharing, as he also mentioned at the beginning, he's been working with us since the beginning, especially relevant to surtax. So, surtax buzzword. I'm bringing one of my staff members up because we also want to remind all of our small businesses, in addition to many of the projects you've heard, especially from highways and that you've heard from Barney in terms of transportation. The cities are also participating in surtax, which means 30% of what the cities get in terms of these projects also must be spent with small businesses. We've had surtax specific workshops since last summer, so we're now going to add surtax going forward to this annual meeting, this annual contracting opportunities. So Nicole, thank you for joining us, and take it away.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nicole Francis. I'm a small business development specialist here in the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. So I deal with the surtax funded projects in our office. So I review these projects for goals, I monitor them for compliance with the CBE requirements, and I report on them, and I'm a good contact for training if you need any information about these as well. So just to give you an overview, if you don't know already, in November 2018, the voters approved the 1% surtax increase, and it was effective in January 2019. So now when you go ahead and pay for your items. It's not a 6 cents, it's 7 cents on the dollar. Along with that, the county commissioners approved a 30% CBE small business goal on eligible projects. So I still review the projects for goals, and if they're eligible, depending on the CBE availability, we might be able to put a 30, or it may vary, but the 30% is the goal we're going for. The transportation surtax, we're estimated to collect $374 million every year. So if you see at the bottom of the slide, we have the COVID adjustments, where next year we're going to be a bit low, but in about 3 or 4 years, we'll catch up to that 374. So if you look at this map on the right-hand side, you'll see the projects that were approved for fiscal year 2020, the municipality projects. And when I say municipal, the cities, the villages, within Broward County. 97 capital projects were approved, 40 rehab and maintenance, with a total of $121 million. So you see the projects on the right-hand side, they're spread out throughout Broward County. To get a list of these projects, you can look at Agenda Item 72 from June 16th. You'll get a list of the cities they're located in, a little scope of the projects, and you'll see the value. So that's a good place to look if you're interested. So within these projects, 29 of them are shovel-ready. They're already gone through the planning and design phase. Now they're ready to go. The remaining projects, which is a good chunk of them, are planning and design. So now I'm going to tell you where those projects are right now. As I said before, I review these projects for goals, so I'll let you know what projects have come across my desk so far. So far we've reviewed 32 of these projects, and it's been about half and half in terms of construction and planning and design. So when you get these slides, you can look at the different municipalities listed here and try to familiarize yourself with the projects to see what services you can provide. Here I give you a list of all of the projects that I've reviewed so far and the goal on the right-hand side. You see a lot of these projects are $2 million and less. So this is really good opportunities for our smaller firms to participate as primes. And if you see the average goal we have on these projects, 34%. So this is a lot of opportunity coming up, and it's $80 million I've reviewed so far. So just to let you know, to get involved, look at the different bid platforms that these municipalities use. This slide and the slide after it lets you know the different ones that we're aware of. And if you see, DemandStar is really popular. About 12 of them use DemandStar, and we just mentioned BidSync now is what we use here. That's now Periscope, and a few of these municipalities use them as well. So again, I would encourage you to go look at the list of projects, and if your services can be provided, get in contact, find out about their platforms, reach out to the procurement folks. And lastly, I just wanted to remind you all to stay engaged. As Sandy mentioned, we have our website, broward.org/econdev. We have a 30 for 30 tab. You click on the 30 for 30 tab and you'll see information about surtax-related projects here in Broward County. We also have a CBE directory. So if you're looking for CBE firms as a prime to work on your projects, get to know them, go through our directory and familiarize yourself with them. And if you're a CBE, take a look at your own firm on our directory and make sure your information on there is accurate as well. Also, as Sandy mentioned, we have the Business Assistance Weekly newsletter that goes out on Wednesday. So if you check your email and you didn't get it yesterday, please make sure you reach out to our office and sign up for that, or get it out of your spam box. That's somewhere you want to check as well. We want you to get engaged with us and stay engaged, because we do put a lot of information about the surtax-funded projects in that weekly newsletter. Also, as Sandy mentioned, we have surtax events. It's been almost like one a month, and we have one coming up on November 19th as well. We have meet and greets, where opportunities for vendors to kind of meet and find out more information about upcoming surtax projects. Sandy mentioned the social media, Facebook, Twitter. There's also the Penny for Transportation website. These links, you should be able to click on them when you get them, and it'll take you to the appropriate site. And lastly, on our website, if you click on that last link and scroll all the way down, for each municipality, it'll take you to the procurement website. So that's something that'll be really helpful for you as well. And that's it.
So thank you, Nicole. And again, thanks to all of our presenters today. We're getting ready to get into some Q&A if we have any questions. But I just want to remind all of our CBE specifically, and if you're not certified, come check us out and get certified. If you're not a registered vendor, as Mr. Marco said for purchasing, you need to be a registered vendor. And again, he described the site where you can become a registered Broward vendor for free. So become a vendor. And that's how you begin to get the bids or have information on upcoming bids. But then check with our office. Let's take a look at the good material or service or product you provide. And let us go back and take a look at the last 3 to 5 years. And we'll tell you how often the county procures that good material or service or product. And then it's based on that information. You may decide that you want to get engaged and become a certified small business. And then we'll walk you through that process. Because again, understanding the program, then making sure you know the process. You then want to take advantage of our meet and greets, our workshops like this one where you can meet the people who are telling you about projects so you can put into play the application of the process and realize because you know the program, you know the county is intentional about making sure the agencies you heard today as well as all the county agencies find ways for small businesses to participate. In case you didn't know, SBA classifies small businesses as 1 to 500 employees. Broward looks at our small businesses from a certification perspective. 89% of the businesses in Broward County, the entire county, not just certified, 89% of the businesses in Broward County have 20 employees or less. And in case you didn't know, there's over 77,000 businesses in Broward County. So we are truly a small business community. And because of that, the county has made a commitment that at least 25% of what the county procures, we want to procure with small businesses in Broward. So Ms. McCall, we'll come to you now, or Vanetta, to see if you have any questions for any of the presenters.
Good afternoon, Mr. McDonald, and thank you. We do have 2 questions at this time. The first question is, for Copen's modernization, are you referring to design or construction?
For Copen's modernization, are you talking about design or construction? Come on up, Barney. I think that was to you. For your Copen's facility, right?
Hi, this is Barney McCoy. We're referring to both for that project.
So the answer is both. Next question, Ms. McCall.
Yes. And the next question, it may be for Nicole. Are you distinguishing the phase of the surtax projects?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
They're asking, this call is from Paula, and she's asking, are you distinguishing the phase of the surtax projects?
Oh, what phase it's in?
Yeah.
So when we get the, yes, so when we receive the submissions, they are putting it by solicitation, the solicitation. So at first it'll be planning or design, we'll get one submission for that and set a goal on that. And then when it's in the construction phase, they'll submit another submission and we review it for a goal as well.
So whenever the bids hit the street, and I think you said the caller's name was Paula, from our newsletter tips to the specific bid, it will read if that's in the planning and design phase, and if there's a goal aligned. Then certainly based on the solicitation for the construction, you would also see the goal. So as I know, though many of the city projects for surtax have not hit the streets as the cities are doing their final dotted I's and cross T's, and you're going to start seeing those solicitations soon, it'll explain if those projects were at the phase of design and planning, or if these projects are now at the phase of construction. But actually on one of Nicole's slides, also on our county's website, you can also see, based on the projects that was approved by the Oversight Board and our commission, what phases they were in. You saw some of the shovel-ready projects. You saw some of the other projects that was rehab and maintenance. And you saw some of the other projects that were down towards the planning and the designing phase. So again, we're looking for more of the cities to come out right now for those shovel-readies. Some of the others had to go back and complete some of the plan and some of the design. Then we will eventually see those. But in our newsletter, when she's giving those hot tips on Wednesday evening, we tell you exactly which phase of a project the project is actually in. Any other questions, Ms. McCall?
No, sir. Those were the only 2 questions we had.
Well, me and the team are certainly not going to force them to ask questions. So that means the team did a great job this year. And normally if you were here, we would be breaking and everyone would start shaking hands. So that's not happening. So on your screen, you see some of our reminder of our upcoming events. and you want to be a part of those events, again, you want to reach out to me or my staff. If you're not getting your Wednesday night newsletter, you certainly want to trail, as the presenters told you today, their projects. You get to learn about them first after today from our newsletter, but certainly the official notification of any bid is going to come through the bid portal, Periscope. But with that, we want to thank you all, and we appreciate you joining us today. The number was the short side of 170 attendees, so we appreciate that. And keep in mind, there's a lot of information out, there's a lot of contracting out, there's a lot of projects coming out. Broward wants to use these as a way to stabilize our community and restart our economy by keeping our small businesses active. And you, as a small business, have to do your part. Everything you heard today is real. Everything you heard today will eventually be in the bid. Everything you heard today, the majority will actually end up with goals or aligned opportunities for small business. Question is, are you ready to participate? Are you ready to do your part of understanding the program, the process, and the people? So with that, thank you for joining us, and take care and stay safe. Broward, please still wear your mask. Thanks again. Thank you, guys.